Canada, welcome back to the 2025 World Series on Fox, presented by Capital One. The Rogers Center, ready for the kind of night they've waited 32 years to have again. They lead this best of 7, 3 games to 2. We're all set for Game 6. We welcome inside. Happy Halloween. Joe Davis with the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. And who would have thought that it would be the Blue Jays? Who would have thought at the start of this season, at the start of this series, after that 18-inning game? But they are one win away from their first World Championship in 32 years.
It's pretty incredible. Going all the way back to the last week of the season when they had to win the division, they did. When you think about Seattle losing the first 2 games they had to win, they did. 18 innings? No way. They did. And the reason they do it is offensively, they make trouble for the opposing pitchers. You look at the home run comparison, 15 RBIs via the home run to only 9. And look at the multiple runs per inning. They make you pay if you make mistakes. The problem? They got a great pitcher they're going up against, but they're not afraid.
Yeah, so the Dodgers, the defending champion, on the brink of elimination. But think about this. If I told you you could pick any pitcher in all of baseball to start a game like this with your season on the line, who are you picking?
I'm going with the hottest pitcher in Yamamoto, and he has been unbelievable in the postseason. Coming off of 2 complete games, he did something no team has ever seen really in the last 2. Look at, you can't get hits. You can't get runs. He has 6 pitches. He throws 9 innings. They're going to need that performance, the Dodgers, if they're going to have any chance to have a Game 7.
It doesn't matter who they pitch to. It doesn't matter if Sandy Koufax comes back. If they don't get this offense going, they've scored 4 runs over the last 29 innings. They're hitting just .201 during the World Series, and so another change is in order for this lineup. And for the details, here's Tom Verducci.
Well, thanks, Joe. Seldom used Dodgers infielder Miguel Rojas has no hits in the last 30 days. But facing elimination, Dodgers manager Dave Roberts has him starting at second base. Now, it has nothing to do with matchups or numbers. It has everything to do with Rojas being, in Roberts' words, a great teammate and glue guy for us all year. Plus, Rojas is a contact guy at a time when Roberts wants his slumping hitters to use the opposite side of the field more, and that includes Mookie Betts, who has dropped to 4th in the lineup for the first time in 8 years. Now here's Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Tom. After George Springer was hit in the knee in Game 5 of the ALCS, Blue Jays hitting coach David Popkins told him, "You've got a Kirk Gibson moment coming." Springer delivered, hitting a go-ahead 3-run homer in Game 7, and tonight we will see what else he has in store. Springer is back in the lineup after leaving Game 3 with what the Blue Jays are calling an intercostal strain. 2 Kirk Gibson moments in 1 postseason. Joe, I look forward to your call.
All right, Kenny, as this wonderful journey of a baseball season comes to a close north of the border, Game 6 coming up. With the Dodgers coming to bat to open this one, the lineup from Dave Roberts will look like this. Ohtani leads off. Will Smith again bats second. Freddie Freeman plugged into the 3 spot, and as Tom said, for the first time in 8 years, Mookie Betts is a cleanup hitter. Tasker Hernandez and Max Muncy follow, and it's Kike Hernandez, Tommy Edman, and Miguel Rojas with his first start since the division series. Well, the Dodgers are in their 23rd World Series. This is the 8th time that they enter Game 6 down 3-2. They're trying to win Game 6 from that position for the first time to force a 7th decisive game tomorrow night. And John, it was overshadowed by how good Yamamoto was in Game 2, but Kevin Gausman, he retired 17 straight at one point in that game, pitched into the 7th inning for the first time in his postseason career.
He was fantastic, and he came out of the chute throwing a lot of fastballs. I would expect that might be changed just a little bit depending. If I'm the Dodgers, I'm going to be more aggressive on the fastballs, but here's the one thing. Gausman can throw his fastball away and down, and if you do that and you got an aggressive team, a lot of quick early outs.
How about against Ohtani? He attacked him with fastballs in the strike zone more than any pitcher has all year.
7 of those 9 pitches were fastballs, and I think for the game of guessing is, do you think he's going to swing first pitch? Then you throw a splitter. And if not, make it a fastball away and make Ohtani and Betts and the guys who may be struggling on pitches away to beat you away.
Dodgers came into this World Series having won 24 of their last 30 games, but now down 3-2. Can they force Game 7 in their quest to repeat? Blue Jays lose that gut punch of an 18-inning game. Get off of the deck to win 2 in a row at Dodger Stadium. 1 win from their first World Series in 32 years.
There's no greater feeling than to pitch your team into a World Series championship at home. But the one thing you've got to guard against is the adrenaline in the crowd and trying to pitch perfect. You don't have to pitch perfect, but you better be nearly perfect because Yamamoto's on the other side.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani to lead off for the Dodgers. Off we go in game 6. He thought he was going to swing. He did, and he threw a splitter for strike 1.
Yeah, every pitcher thinks about what if, what could have happened, game plan the game, and you don't want to go off your script. When you go off your script, that means the other team's doing something to make you change.
Gausman's 0-1. Ohtani swings and misses. Back-to-back splitters.
Two perfect pitches to start. And that pitch is nearly unhittable. I think only 1 hit he's given up in the World Series on this split.
Only 2 all postseason. Opponents are 2 for 36 against it. And he gets misses on more than half of the swings. Career-making pitch for the 34-year-old who deals and throws a 3rd in a row. This time Ohtani lays off. Then the pitch of the postseason, not just his, but across the postseason. Everybody loving it. Here's his 1-2. 4 consecutive splitters to start this game. And when you talk about, do you go with what you got? Do you change things up? He really only throws 2 pitches.
Yeah, he will throw a few more sliders, I think, tonight if he gets into rhythm. Fastball away here after 4 splitters if he wants.
Know what you're going to get. Here it comes. Can you hit it? This is the splitter that, it's given everybody a hard time. The Dodgers in this World Series 1 for 22 against splitters.
And when he doesn't pull it, it stays square over the middle. It drops straight down, and they get a swing and miss.
Here's a 2-2, and he strikes out Ohtani to start game 6.
So this is what I'm talking about when you stay on top of it and you don't pull it. It starts in the middle of the plate and just goes straight down. That is the perfect way to describe a splitter. It almost looks like a nasty 2-seam fastball. By pulling it, it means he's trying to get it to break more, and he pulls it into a lefty. It will not have the same effect than if he stays behind it and throws it right down the middle to fading away.
1 away. Will Smith chops a first pitch fastball along 3rd. Ernie Clement watches it with the English bounce foul.
Now with Will Smith, the mistake he made, don't think it's not in the back of his mind. He pitched Will Smith perfectly until that 7th inning home run where he leaked the fastball middle in. He will not. It's a mistake if you go in there. If you go in there, you have to go so far in and up just to get his attention so that you want to get him out of the way.
Because it has been nothing but fastballs, and he had his way with that pitch prior to missing that one in the 7th inning. Mentioned that he had retired 17 in a row in game 2. It was Smith's home run that snapped that. And 1 too many and 1 poorly located fastball. Smith has not done a whole lot since. 2 out of 14 in the 3 games in Los Angeles, but get in line when it comes to struggling lately in Dave Roberts' order. Can the offense wake up before that hourglass runs out on this Dodger season? 1 ball, 1 strike. Talking to Dave Roberts about changing the lineup, he said, look, if you do nothing, then you're burying the head in the sand. If you make a wholesale change, that's panicking. So he's trying to thread that needle to nudge this offense forward to a game 7. That's down to 4. Rojas into the lineup. Smith on 1-1. Swings and misses.
The reason I think his slider will be important, especially on the right-handers, even if it's not a pitch they swing or take for a strike, it's a pitch that goes away. See, that pitch went in, and they give him 2 different lanes to look at as a right-hander facing the right-handed batters.
Strikes out Ohtani. There goes to 2-2 on Smith. He threw 4 sliders total in game 2, none of them after the first. And so there is a way that he could look different facing this lineup the 2nd time. So he's pitched in a lot of these games in his life. Back in his backyard in Colorado as a kid. Evan Gausman in his first World Series. Down the left field line, foul.
See, now that he's thrown a couple that have been down and in, and he is such a good low ball hitter. I mean, it would be awfully tempting right here to throw a slider on the outer half and see if you can get Will Smith to expand out there now that those pitches were in. Anytime you pull one foul, looking for that ball in. See what he goes with here. 2-2.
11 pitches, hasn't shown that slider yet. Here he comes. There's the sticking with the splitter. Back-to-back Ks. 2 out in the first.
Well, the best part about that pitch is he made the adjustment to the other side of the plate. The pitch in, that the slider that goes, the splitter that goes down and in, he fouls it, right? Gets out in front. Now you need to show him something on the other side, and he did. And look how far he missed it.
After the 15 strikeouts in Game 5, 2 of them to start Game 6. Freddie Freeman. Freeman struck out all 3 times. That was where it was like, wow, is this offense in a place that is unrecognizable for one of the best contact hitters of this generation. Yeah, the walk-off in Game 3 did Freeman, but overall this postseason just 237. One ball, 1 strike.
In this situation here, I wonder if he's going to try to avoid throwing splits to Freddie. If you remember the last time he faced him, he had battled the at-bat and hooked a split down the line for a 2-out double, which eventually got a run by Will Smith, a base hit. So see if he stays firm. Fastballs. And he went right back to the split.
And he's got it. He's working, doesn't he?
Sure does. It's coming out of his hand. Nice.
Evan Gausman, a chance to strike out the side. That's exactly what he does. Here come the Blue Jays in Game 6. Shockingly, George Springer is back in there. Lucas and Guerrero hit 2 and 3. Bichette, Varsho, and the catcher Kirk through the heart of the lineup. And down at the bottom of the order, it's Barger, Clement, and Jimenez. Unreal.
Leading off the bottom of the first inning for the Blue Jays, designated hitter number 4, George Springer.
Drilled in the knee in the championship series, came back from that, walks off of the field in Game 3. You're thinking there's no chance to see this guy again this year. Springer's back in there for Game 6. Yamamoto comes home. Strike 1. Hey! So the 27-year-old from Bizen, Japan, taking the ball for the Dodgers. The first guy in a quarter century to tour back-to-back complete games in the postseason. And you came away from watching the replay of that, as Springer limps his way after that swing, even more impressed than you were in real time watching it.
Yeah, he has 6 pitches, but he can do whatever he wants. And whenever he wants, and we'll talk about how he navigated this lineup to perfection.
0-2 to Springer, high fastball, but not a good early sign there seeing George wincing like that. I know you were extra surprised seeing him.
Yeah, I hope it goes well for him, and I can understand his desire to get in there, but he's facing the nastiest pitcher with swing and miss type stuff. No, there's nothing. I mean, it's guts right now. I mean, this is not a guy who has a controlled swing. He lets it fly, and I admire everything about it, but I'll be shocked.
And look, if Springer says he's good to go, you're going to want George Springer, but they did fine without him. Lucas had 2 hits. Schneider had the home run. It's not like it's desperation to have him, and that can't feel good either. Checking a swing, but it's 2-2. And they say that this is not the only thing he's dealing with, that when this postseason wraps up, we're going to find out there are several other injuries George Springer's been playing through. Playing through the pain here in Game 6. Wincing with every swing. 4 home runs in this postseason, 23 in his postseason career. That's 3rd all time. .36-year-old in his 12th year. Reaches out, rolls it to short, and Mookie Betts. One away.
Whenever he's needed a big out and change the speeds, that curveball is unbelievable. But one thing that he did throughout the entire game is he never gave any hitter in any at bat the same first pitch. Think about that. 4 different at bats for guys, 4 different first pitches, 4 different ways to get them out, so that they don't have any way of rhythm and knowing what to sit on off of this guy.
Nathan Lucas takes a fastball for a strike, so it helped him navigate through a complete game. It also gives you what you need to face a lineup again right away.
Absolutely. It was a classic. I mean, that's a video he should go to for the rest of his life if he ever struggles.
Lucas punches one to third that gets under Muncy's glove. And the gap between these teams defensively gets through Customs from LA to Toronto.
Muncy didn't see that. That ball, for whatever reason, the glare, he did not see it. Watch what happens. High bouncer can sometimes get in the lights, and watch him go to his eyes.
We talked about the big innings and the big swings from the Blue Jays being the advantage, but the little things stacking up in their edge. Valero takes a strike. One of the rare strikeouts of this postseason, and he's got 8 home runs and only 5 strikeouts in the postseason, but it came against Yamamoto.
That was an unbelievable at bat.
Bunch of splitters and then finished him with a curve in that instance, and that was a big spot. It was 1st and 3rd in the first inning with 1 away.
Yeah, it's almost a guarantee that he's going to drive the run in.
Right. It was the best chance they'd have. Yamamoto would retire the last 20 that he faced. Here's 1-1. Ground ball to third. Muncy with another chance. This time he starts a double play. The 18th World Series game, first time a guy struck out the side in the first for the Jays.
See if Mookie comes out of that first pitch take.
He does. It's only the 2nd time, John, in 16 games this postseason he's swung at the first pitch of his first at bat.
He had to do something different. The narrative, and I know he's in a different batting order, and the narrative was he was taking pitches, getting in a hole. 0-1 turns into 0-2, and the next thing you know, you're struggling.
An 0-1 from Gausman. Betts swings and misses. 0-2 just like that. Dave Roberts pulled Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman in together. He said, here's what I'm thinking. Mookie, I want you thinking I'm going to drive in runs. I'm going to hit you clean up. And Mookie said, I kind of like that. Finds himself right where he probably feels like he's been all October, though. Down in the count as he tries to snap out of it here. You know, the last time the Dodgers faced elimination was in the division series last year against the Padres. Betts was struggling badly at that point as well, but he was the guy that had the spark. He homered against Dylan Cease in the first inning. Dodgers went on to win that game and, of course, win the whole thing. Dropped him down to 3 for game 5. He went 0 for 4. Just 132 since the start of the championship series. Guys that just come at him with fastballs. Gausman on 1-2 does the same, and it's fouled back. He's been popping everything up, and throughout the summer as he went through his worst offensive season, this is what it looked like a lot of the stretch.
Yeah, and that angle on the fastball is not going to get it done because that's a high launch angle, and he's got to be able to get flatter and go the other way. When you're trying to pull and lift, you're going to run into a lot of that, and it's all mechanical, and it's the worst time to have it.
Roller to third. Clements got it. That's the first out of the second. Gausman's retired the first 4.
You know, we talk about it all the time about a pitcher making an adjustment. It's easier for him in a series, granted he's not pitching every day, than a hitter who's in a funk and he's trying to just do anything he can to taste a hit, anything to change the mental game that goes on when everyone's asking you questions of why are you struggling.
Teoscar Hernandez had a couple of infield hits in game 5. 2 of the 3 total for the Dodgers, whose average in this World Series has dipped below the Mendoza line, below 200. No team has won a World Series with a sub 200 average since the 1962 Yankees. Gausman abused Hernandez with splitters when he faced him in game 2. Ahead of him 0-2. Broken record saying that.
It's a total reversal. And you know what? That's what sometimes you get to sense that the other team's going to start chasing your fastball and be aggressive. So what has he done in this game? Splitter, 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 and a good one.
Home with an 0-2. And another splitter for a fourth strikeout.
In this game, nobody on the Dodgers has the ability or willingness to move up in the box. And by moving up in the box, you're going to catch that splitter at a higher spot in the strike zone. But everyone is always used to just digging in their spot. No change in swings. And when a guy is on, you're going to see the evidence of it.
Max Muncy, 4 for 32 since the start of the championship series. One of those 4 hits, though, was a home run against Kevin Gausman. You think this could be a key guy for the Dodgers tonight?
I do. He has had success, and when you've hit 4 home runs, you just see a ball different. You have confidence when you go to the plate. The more of those that he can stay off of, the better it's going to be. And look, it's easier said than done. I mean, they've faced him a ton. So it's not like it's foreign. It's just, can you be on the fastball when it's in the zone and not miss it, and stay off of the split when it's out of the zone?
1-1 pitch. Muncy swings and misses, dances away.
And then the other thing, the last thing, when you're trying to hit that pitch and you're trying to pull it, you're done. You have to almost approach it like I'm going to see that pitch and go the other way. And if it just happens to miss the location and goes into your barrel, you'll pull it.
19 of his 29 pitches, splitters.
And a ton of swing and misses.
Already almost as many as he had the entire start in game 2. And again, that was a good one. He went into the 7th. And suffered the tough luck loss. Yamamoto on the other side. His 2-2 to Muncy. Fouled off. Drafted in 2012, got to the majors in 2013. 13th year, 5th different team. And his first World Series. Another 2-2 to Max Muncy. And he's worked it full.
And there's the one he pulled. To make the adjustment, stay over the ball, start it in the middle of the plate, and let that splitter do its dance down instead of down and in to a lefty.
First 3-ball count of the day. Dodgers much more aggressive. He finished him off anyways. Yeah, that guy's got the good stuff going tonight. 5 strikeouts over 2 perfect innings for Kevin Gausman, trying to pitch the Blue Jays to the World Championship. Strike 1 on Bo Bichette. It's a change for the Blue Jays from when they faced Yamamoto in game 2. Bichette wasn't in the lineup. Man, has he been awesome. Above 300. He's knocked in a run in 3 straight. Parachuting into this World Series after missing a month and a half. Let's go Bo chance. What could be his final games in a Blue Jays uniform. Free agent at the end of the year. So that was part of the motivation, beyond the obvious of getting back to help win a World Series. He wanted one last run in that Blue Jays uniform at the very least. He's down on strikes, and Yamamoto's got his first K. No score, second inning. Here's Varsho. Home run in game 1, had a triple in game 5. He's been a centerpiece of this excellent Blue Jays defense in center field. Takes a first pitch curve. Yamamoto's been in this position before. That is game 6, facing elimination. His last game in Japan, the Japan series, his team down 3-2 when he threw an 138 pitch complete game. Set a Japan series record, struck out 14. Pitched for Team Japan in the WBC. He was their ace. And has already shown in a short time in the big leagues he loves the big games.
Well, if you're wondering what makes him so tough, his fastball rides and holds a plane. So if it starts low, the hitter thinks that's going low below the zone. It doesn't. And then he follows it with that splitter off the same height. But I'll tell you the weapon that doesn't get talked about enough, when he wants to change spins, change speeds, and get an out, it's his curveball. He's gone to that curveball in so many crucial spots that that's become a huge weapon.
Since the start of September, John, opponents are 3 for 45 against that pitch. Barger flexes one to short, and Mookie Betts 2 away. T-Mobile, the best network in the game, is now the best network in America. Alejandro Kirk music. 6 RBIs in this Fall Classic, leads everybody. There's that curve. Hey! Kirk, not necessarily a power hitter, but you go to the last 2 days of the regular season, starting right there, 8 home runs and 20 RBIs in his last 18 games. Becoming a monster when his team needs him most.
He has this approach of momentum towards the ball. You'll see him step and then move his body towards the ball and then find the ball with the barrel. So he's not looking to launch, he's looking to hit line drives.
On a 1-1 from Yamamoto, he takes a fastball outside.
And with that approach, he can hit down and in, up. He can hit up, he can hit away, he can go to all parts of the field, which makes him tough to defend and pitch to.
3-1. Takes a fastball for a strike. That is an area where Yamamoto could pull a lever to be a lot different from the first time he faced him. A season low number of fastballs used below 30%. Got a theme for Dodger pitching throughout this World Series. Very low fastball usage. Yamamoto to Kirk with a 3-2. Pop fly to right center field. Tasker Hernandez or Tommy Edman. It will be Tommy Edman to wrap up a 1-2-3 second. Kike Hernandez starts this inning for the Dodgers, looking for their first base runner against Kevin Gausman. He has 5 Ks over 2 perfect innings, and he's downstairs with a first pitch slider, first one that he's thrown. Hernandez homered for the lone Dodger run in Game 5. There's 4 for 19. Strikeouts more than half his at-bats, though.
Hey! One thing about this performance that I like so far, and he's literally approaching each inning like the 9th inning. Like, he's not getting any quick outs. He's striking everybody out. He's pitching each batter as if it might be his last. Now, that's an unbelievable approach, because there's no tomorrow, right, for him. So he's not worried about pitch counts, but at some point in this game, he's going to have to get some outs other than strikeouts.
That's already his 12th swing and miss on a splitter. It's his 13th swing and miss total. He's already exceeded his total from Game 2. And he's home with a 1-2. John Schneider has told us he knows Kevin Gausman, the way that he tracks as it gets deeper into games, how much he has left. It's the swing and miss stuff. And I mean, we've been here this whole postseason. Yeah. It's not been anything close to this. His best form when he would pick to have it. His 2-2. Strike 3 to the outside corner. Adam Hamari gives him an inch there.
Well, these splitters over the middle of the zone are dropping so far that the hitters are missing him by a foot. And right now, he's like, I don't need my defense. The heck with him. I'm just going to keep throwing this pitch. And then the slider that he gets freezed on the outside corner. Man, what a start to a dream scenario for Kevin Gausman.
First base runner for the Dodgers will be Tommy Edman. Extra bases here in the third, a winning double. Well, it looked like they might not make any contact tonight, and then whack. Edman connects.
Well, Edman said the heck with it. I want to see first pitch fastball swing. And it almost caught Guerrero by surprise. That ball was hit so firm. Looked like he did not get to the peak of his jump in time.
And so the guy that Dave Roberts plugs into the lineup finds himself up there with a man in scoring position. Rojas swings and misses. Rojas 0 for 2 in the World Series, 3 for 10 in this postseason. First start since the division series here. Dave Roberts making an old school decision right here, saying, I'm just playing the guy who I trust. Said he thought to himself right after game 5, Rojas. And then he texted Rojas. He said, hey, second base, you're in there for game 6. Rojas said, I got you. Said he's a great teammate. He's been a glue guy. He's had big hits for him all year. He gives him a bat to ball dimension they've been lacking. Fights this one off, and he's down 1-2.
Wow. I mean, that was almost in his belt.
Ooh. Get off me ball.
Higher than the belt and higher than his hands, fortunately for him.
Ohtani waits on deck. Rojas on this 1-2. Lays off, and the count evens up. 36 years old. And for a lot of this season, just a role player, leader behind the scenes, getting his shot. Two-two pitch. Rojas. Takes strike 3. Fastball to the knees. 7 for Gausman.
They're not going to pitch to Ohtani, I wouldn't think. Maybe they will. No, they're not pitching to him.
Well, Hernandez got rung up on a pitch that looked to be a touch outside. Rojas gets rung up on a pitch that the Dodgers are shouting was too low. Too close to take, though, and 7 strikeouts over 2 2/3 for a guy who's not a high strikeout pitcher, but pouring it all out there. So first and second, and it's up to Will Smith. Dodgers do not have a hit with a runner in scoring position since the 5th inning of game 3. Is it Smith?
Outside.
He was the guy that got him going against Gausman in game 2. Hooked down the left field line towards the corner. It is a fair ball. Will Smith delivers a 2-out double. Tommy Edman's in to score, and the Dodgers are on the board first in game 6. Just kept it fair. And the first hit with a runner in scoring position in days for LA.
Again, another down and in inside part of the plate. He is so good. I actually thought Ohtani would be able to score on this ball, but he was stopped at third, and good play by Toronto to keep him from scoring.
So now second and third, Freddie Freeman. So the Dodgers get on the board first. With Yamamoto on the mound, trying to force a game 7. Feels like a huge at-bat right here. Dodgers have not scored more than 2 runs in an inning in this series. Freeman takes in the dirt. Kevin Gausman retired the first 7 that he faced. 2 out of the last 4 hitters have doubled. Here's his 1-1. Freeman takes inside ball 2. Mookie Betts on deck. Gausman's 2-1 is in the dirt for ball 3.
Freedom of pitching without anybody on base is certainly what every pitcher wants to do. And then once somebody gets on, and of course in scoring position, it starts getting a little more tense, and the pitches are trying to be made a little more perfect.
Freeman takes ball 4 to load the bases. And how about this? Mookie Betts comes up with the bases loaded. Pete Walker out for a visit. First walk of this game issued by Kevin Gausman. And Mookie Betts, we talk about it coming into the World Series. A lot of things are going to funnel to him, with him hitting second. The way that they've handled Shohei Ohtani, well, and the cleanup spot, things are designed to funnel to you. He's 0, or they're 0 for their last 13 with the bases loaded. And Betts in the postseason has left 24 men on base.
Yeah, that's shocking. And certainly, again, 162 season, you go through stretches like this, no big thing, because you know he's going to be on the other side of it. But in a best of 7, or even in late postseason, it gets magnified. And if this were to play another 7 games, he would have the opportunity to atone for it, and we don't have that. So it's what you do for yourself and your team right now.
Dave Roberts said to him yesterday, hey, drop it all. Drop the baggage. Go be good for 1 game. Right now he's thinking go be good for 1 at bat. Bases loaded, 2 gone, 3rd inning. Mookie Betts takes ball 1. Not close with the first pitch slider. Three-time champion, former MVP. Betts takes a strike. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. He speeded a fastball by.
In the middle of the plate, but because of the splitters with the first 2 pitches, you see how off balance Mookie was late.
Stayed alive. Turned it up to 97 there. Running the bank on the Will Smith double. Another 1-2 from Gausman to Betts. Base hit left field. Ohtani's in to score. Here comes Will Smith. Throw to the plate's not in time. Betts breaks through, and so do the Dodgers. Oh, an exhale and the monkey off his back. The Dodgers lead Gausman and the Blue Jays 3-0.
Big hit and a pitch in the wrong location. And this is kind of what I was talking about. All of the swing and misses and the efforts to get what looked like 3 perfect innings. Now trailing 3-0.
Little box out there from Ohtani. Tasker Hernandez with a check swing along 3rd and foul. Looked like him and Gausman were getting in there to rebound. What does that have to feel like for Mookie Betts? Weight of the world on him. Lifted there as he comes through with a 2-out, 2-run single. And the Dodgers got the game's first run, but it felt like that was a spot where they had to get more. They have their first crooked number of this Fall Classic.
Yeah, we showed it in the top of the open there about what the Blue Jays have done. 3 times they've scored 3 or more. The Dodgers had a 0 in that column. Well, no more. 3 spot in the 3rd inning.
Two on, 2 out. And an 0-2 pitch. Strikes him out again. He has struck Hernandez out all 5 times that he's faced him. Guy probably feels like he could float right now. He even lets a smile out. Jeez, you can just see it on his face. Mookie Betts with a 2-run single. Dodgers with a 3-0 lead as Yamamoto goes back to work downstairs with the first pitch to Addison Barger. Here, John, is where, I mean, there's just no breaks in this lineup. You're down to 7, 8, and 9, and you're facing a guy who's hitting above 400 over his last 10 games. And then you got Ernie Clement, who's got an 11-game hitting streak.
Hey! Yeah, and let's not forget 11 of those innings in the postseason, in the extra innings, they basically did nothing. So the numbers look even better for the Blue Jays. But that's what makes them tick. 7, 8, 9. And then they just keep turning the lineup over.
Over 6 runs per game. That's top 5 in playoff history. Bam Bam Barger, they call him. He's been able to harness that personality, that high effort swing, to work in the playoffs. It's a guy who started the season in the minor leagues after he hit just 197 last year in his first taste of the big leagues. He said he started to question everything he'd always done, tweaked his stance, tweaked his approach, just changing his swing. He got back to doing what he's always done, trying to crush it. Down the left field line, he's got a fair ball. Ricochets off that angled sidewall into no man's land. Hernandez tries to pick it, but the bare hand doesn't. It's a leadoff double for Addison Barger.
Actually, that was a great pitch and just a better job hitting after a slow curveball. He beats him with the fastball, but just inside the line. Fastball up, he goes with it, keeps his head down, takes a while to recognize where that ball is. And then this is an important run for the Blue Jays against a pitcher who doesn't give up many. They've got to crawl their way back into the game.
Ernie Clement, 8-hitter for the Jays, hitting .391 in these playoffs. Down an 0-1, Clement grounds it foul, strike 2. Rewarding Performance is sponsored by Capital One. And here's a guy who embodies the Blue Jays so well. Nobody saw them coming. Nobody saw him coming. This is a 200 hitter bouncing around with Cleveland and the A's. Comes here to the Blue Jays, plays a role. But even to begin this season, he was a platoon guy. Best stretch of his life coming here in the playoffs. But Yamamoto strikes him out on 3 pitches. Clement unable to advance the runner.
This is what makes this guy so tough, man. That was a 92-mile-an-hour splitter that just on the outside part of the plate.
He's thrown that splitter more than ever in the 2 complete games here in the postseason. Milwaukee went 0 for 12 against it. The Jays went 0 for 6. Andres Jimenez takes high. Jimenez out of the 9 spot. 11 runs batted in the World Series or in the postseason. That's 3rd on the team. Only Kirk and Guerrero more.
The only thing that you can pick up about what Yamamoto's doing from a hitter's perspective is rarely will he throw back-to-back curveballs. And those are 2 splitters in a row. One that he took for a ball and one that just, again, eats up on the inside part of the plate.
Top of the order, Springer on deck. Leadoff double from Barger. He's at second. It's a high fastball, and it's ball 3. You got a .391 hitter in the 8th spot. You got a guy with 11 runs batted in, 3rd on the team in the 9th spot. He's the shortstop, supposed to just be in there for his glove and help turn the lineup over. He's been a run producer. 3-2.
Amazing 3-1 pitch right there. Just when you think the hitter's like, he's going to challenge me, he doesn't. Now that brings in 4 different pitches to get him out. And he's thinking about in that computer, what pitch do I go to? Do I go to that breaking ball that he gives up on? The change of speed?
Throws another splitter at second. Rojas to get Jimenez. Up to third goes Barger. Up to the plate comes Springer. Well, Springer looked clearly diminished his first time up. Grounded to short. Winced on every swing. Coming off that side injury.
Man, I know he's not going to do it. Muncy's almost in left field. All he has to do is lay down a bunt. Pass the pitcher towards Muncy, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Hurt a lot less than swinging. Yeah, you can tell it's the furthest thing from his mouth.
No,
you can see it on his face stepping into the box. You can see that he's like bracing himself for the pain that is about to come.
No doubt.
This is the kind of injury that typically wipes a guy out for weeks. Dodgers get 3 in the top of the 3rd. Jays trying to answer back. Barger at third, 2 out, 2 up. Checked. Ball 3.
And he can't afford to check swing. You see him right there, and watch this. He just right away grimaces.
That might hurt even more than it does.
Swing. I mean,
Yamamoto falling behind him 3-0. Who knows if he can swing his best. He shoots one to right center field. My goodness. George Springer gets the Jays on the board through biting pain.
he's got so much adrenaline trying to muster up, and when you make contact, it's a lot better than when you swing and miss. And 3-0, he sold out. That's a huge run for the Blue Jays, and a validation for Springer.
Both teams breaking through here in the third. Tying run to the plate. Nathan Lucas scrapes it off of the deck foul. They changed his play in the first inning. His batted ball in the first inning to an error on Muncy. I don't know how it initially was ruled a hit in the first place, but it is now an E5. And so Lucas still trying to extend his 12-game on-base streak. Flies one the other way. Kike Hernandez goes back out. He's got room and ends the inning. Blue Jays get a 2-out hit from George Springer.
Welcome back to Toronto with Dodgers manager Dave Roberts. You told us you really liked Mookie Betts' batting practice yesterday. To see him get on top of that fastball and not underneath it, how sweet was that to you?
It was sweet, you know, and hopefully he can build off that confidence. I know that's a big weight off his shoulders, and you know, he finally got a pitch he could hit and did something with, put the barrel to it, and yeah, that was a big at bat, and you know, set up obviously by Will Smith's big at bat, and Tom had leading us off with a double. So really nice hitting that last one.
So here the ground ball to Clement for the first out. You mentioned Will Smith. You moved him behind Shohei in Game 5 in part to provide protection after they walked him so much. It paid off. What is it about Will Smith that makes him so good as a protection piece?
He's number one. He's a really good hitter. He can hit to all fields. He can hit right-handed pitching. You know, his heartbeat is really good. He's unfazed by that. And obviously, you know, when you're getting intensely walk Shohei to get to you, it's just he's unflappable.
And Yoshinobu Yamamoto, what do you see from your pitcher tonight?
I like it. I like his stuff. You know what I think right there. You know, The Barger blocked ball, 2 strikes, which he's shown good piece of hitting. And then I almost got behind Springer, and Springer did a good job staying on the cutter to drive and run with 2 outs.
Thanks so much, Dave.
All right, to you.
2 outs on 3 pitches right there for Kevin Gausman. We had a 3-1 game here in the top of the 4th. Tommy Edman coming to the plate. Edman, hardest hit of the postseason, his first time up. Start that rally last inning. 105 double down the line. Dodgers got 3 in the 3rd. By the way, I'm going to make this quick because I get mad if I linger, but we want to say we love you, Pete Macheska. 22nd and final World Series. He's so thrilled we're doing this, as you can see.
Yes, sir.
Legend right there. We love you, buddy. Get back to the game, he's saying. Pause, go. Oh! Ball and a strike on Tommy Edman. Gausman fires. Swing and a miss on the high fastball.
See, this inning will serve Kevin Gausman well because there'll be a low pitch inning and he didn't have to strike out the side. I mean, it's a dream to strike out as many as he did, but he ran into that inning, got out of the stretch, and 3 runs later you're like, what happened?
And they're looking for a breeze of an inning to follow it. The splitter has been dynamite, getting misses on 75% of the swings. You get above 30%, you're feeling pretty good. 75. 2-2. Fights off a fastball.
Yeah, they've been so good that normally a splitter, when it's in the zone, you get weak contact, you'll get quick outs. They're just swinging misses, so he's had to throw a lot more of them, which when it's that good, I mean,
good problem to have.
Good problem to have.
Santa Claus in here for Halloween. On the hands. Headed for Ernie Clement. And Kevin Gausman after the long 3rd as a 1-2-3 4th, and he's got his big dog leading off. Vlad Jr., Bo Bichette, Dalton Varsho when you come back. Here he is leading off in the 4th inning for the Blue Jays, taking a strike from Yamamoto. This is the matchup of the night. These 2 guys head to head. Yamamoto won the first one, a double play. Threw him 3 different pitches.
He hasn't made a mistake, and he hasn't left one fat in the middle of the plate. And Yamamoto can pitch in the strike zone about as well as anybody. They have only 2 hits in the last game in the strike zone.
Man, I mean, Vlad Jr. has more hits than he has swings and misses in these playoffs. And like half of those swings and misses have come against Yamamoto.
Yeah, just a great job expanding the zone, going low, up.
Strike 3 call this time. A splitter to the knees to get him.
His splitter is firm and has the tilt that will drive a hitter crazy, whereas the splitter of Gausman is more north to south with a lot more break and change of speeds.
He said that's down. Yamamoto's had a pitcher-friendly zone in this game, and then a curveball as Bichette waving over the top. Only Skeens a better ERA in the National League this year, and Yamamoto's gone to another level in the playoffs with a 1.57 postseason ERA. We set it off at the top. If you could have your pick of any pitcher in baseball to start this game, this is probably the guy you're choosing. Bichette goes down the left field line with a base hit. On that bad knee, he settles for the single. Play Ball is baseball's global youth initiative to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. You can learn more, including how to find a league near you at playball.org and at Playball on social media.
And the reason I'm picking him is because he's one of the few guys that can go 9. All those other guys you mentioned are great. They're fantastic, but they're not going, as we see Ohtani taking some swings, they're not going 9. He's going 9, and he was willing to come in extra innings after a complete game and pitch. So it really is the easiest choice. When you ask me that question, I'm like, that guy hands down.
You're talking about game 3. So he's done all these amazing things while he's pitching. The most eye-opening thing that he's done didn't even involve him throwing a pitch. Volunteering to pitch is that game 3 wore on. 1 ball, 1 strike on Dalton Varsho. Dave Roberts said he asked Mark Pryor, what are we going to do as this thing goes deeper and deeper? And Pryor says, yeah. And Dave said, that's not an answer, Mark. And Pryor said, well, look, Snell threw a bullpen today. He's not available. We're not going to Ohtani. Glasnow started the game, but Yamamoto just came up and said he wants to pitch, even though 48 hours before that he threw the complete game. Dave looks down to the end of the dugout, and there's Yamamoto staring right at him with a little smile on his face. Another inning goes by. The game keeps on going. Dave says, go get ready. And had that game gone to the 19th, Yamamoto is going to pitch. Varsho chops it to second. Rojas to second, 1. Over to first. The second double play of the game for Yamamoto. 9-1-2 for the Dodgers against Kevin Gausman. It's Miguel Rojas to take upstairs for ball 1. Gausman has struck out already 8 Dodgers, but LA broke through with a 2-out rally in the 3rd as they try to force game 7. Ohtani and Smith to follow. Rojas takes a strike.
Listen, there's something about having been there, done that, and what the Dodgers, we talked about it, what they did against San Diego last year. The narrative was not going to be great, and they said, the heck with the narrative. We're going internal. We're doing everything we need to do ourselves, and they responded. And they look like they're trying to do the same thing here.
Near to right field for Barger. With a much different approach, right? Last year was all bullpen. This year, avoid at all costs.
Yeah, it just there is value in experience, and I always said that experience is only as good as the ability to put yourself in that spot to gain from it. Because if you play terrible, what does experience mean? Nothing. So it's time they had to get their offense going, and that man right there delivered a big hit.
That was after they walked Ohtani intentionally. Will Smith doubled in the 1st run. Freeman walked, and Betts came through with the bases loaded. Ohtani takes a strike. Up and down this lineup, Dodger Stars, they're trying to get going. Ohtani, it's skewed by 2 otherworldly games. The 3 home runs in the last game of the championship series, reaching 9 times in game 3 here. Outside of that, and again, I know, okay, look, 2 of the greatest games of all time, and I'm going to say outside of that, but you're expecting more.
Well, look, sometimes when you walk somebody 5 times, which rarely happens, you get him out of rhythm. He's not swinging the bat the rest of the night. And you get a little in between, like, hey, they're not pitching to me, so I'm just going to look for one particular pitch. And then all of a sudden, when they do pitch to you, now he did hit a rocket after that game that it was an out. His inability to go the other way has allowed pitchers to be vulnerable. He's vulnerable now. He's not vulnerable when he stays to the middle part of the park when they're pitching him away to left field.
We've seen him do that 1 game all postseason. That was game 3. Opposite field homer, opposite field double. 0 for 8 since the record setting game 3. On his 2-2, Shohei golfs it down the line towards the left field corner. Lucas is over. That becomes a souvenir. Well, those 2 monster games, and game 3 reaching 9 times. That has his average at 300 for the World Series. Rest of the team below 200. He's not the only MVP in there. You got Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts as well. 29 combined All-Star games for the group. They're the first defending champ to make it back to the World Series since the Phillies in 2009. So it doesn't happen often, but when it does, often it's the offense that keeps a team from repeating. Yankees won 3 in a row, but then it was the offense that fell flat in 2001. They only scored 2 runs a game against those great Arizona staffs. And some pain after that foul ball. Your Braves teams went crazy and then just disappeared.
48-2. That was the 5-game spread that we scored 48 runs, gave up 2, and then kind of didn't happen after that. But that's the beauty of this game. You just never know. If you execute, you're always going to be there.
Another payoff to Ohtani and a bouncer foul. The all-time fall flat of a team trying to repeat 1966. The Dodgers, they got swept by Baltimore, didn't score a run after the 3rd inning of game 1. It is hard to do, and often the offense is what undermines it. Another payoff and a grounder to first. This one he keeps fair, and Guerrero takes it himself. Two outs, bases empty. Will Smith. Quiet killer. Hidden between those MVPs. Got to Gausman in game 2. Got the Dodgers on the board here in game 6. Dodger catcher Will Smith looks at a fastball that misses.
If they'd have been set up out there, it would have been a strike. But they were set up in, and he pulled it.
Two and oh. Gausman fires. Smith lifts the ball to left center field. Lucas on the run, gets there.
Back here in Toronto with Blue Jays manager John Schneider. John, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, you got 1 off him. How do you get more?
You got to just keep, pecking away at him. It's commanding the ball like he normally does. You got to get some guys on. You got to look to do some slug too, I think. But you got to just keep on doing your thing. Wait for a mistake and not miss it.
Kevin Gausman, last start of the season, he's at 82 pitches. How long can you ride him?
Man, as long as he's good, he's at least got another one at the very least. But Kev's our guy, and if he's making pitches, you feel really good about him out there. I think he's gonna, he knows this is his last start. He's gonna definitely empty the tank.
George Springer, RBI single. John, how is he doing this?
George is tough, man. I mean, he's been in this situation. He understands kind of this time of year and what you need to do. No one's feeling great, so at bat quality is there. It doesn't look the prettiest every single pitch, but Georgie's just the definition of a gamer, and hopefully comes up in a big spot again.
John, thanks a lot. Joe, back to you.
All right, guys. Alejandro Kirk leading off this 5th for the Blue Jays. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 hits in this game against Yamamoto. Produced the run in the 3rd inning. Barger doubled. Springer singled. Yamamoto's used a couple double play balls over the first 4. That's a part of his game that improved from last year. The biggest increase in ground ball rate of any pitcher in the league. Here's his 1-2.
Nope. That balance you see right there, that pause, you have to be so not only strong, but mechanically good to gather yourself to deliver those different pitches. And that's the timing of the hitter.
6, 7, 8, 9 coming up here. Story of this season, the Blue Jays bounce back years from their stars. Vlad emerging in the postseason to another level, but then the breakout guys to round out the roster. Kirk already an all-star, but for him it was a bounce back year. He struggled some last season. Guys like Barger and Clement fueling these Blue Jays, the Glue Jays as they've been dubbed. Eighth pitch of this at bat, leading off the 5th. There'll be a 9th.
The other thing they have to do when you're thinking about, okay, winning this game, they got to knock Yamamoto out of the game. And the only way to do that is get the pitch count up and obviously create some stress and force a decision by Dave Roberts.
Got him. Tied him up with that splitter for strike 3, but it took him 9 pitches. 1 gone in the 5th.
Well, that one was the nastier one. That movement, that one almost moved about 3 feet. But here's the delivery. See how balanced he is right there, and then he gathers himself and comes into a perfect fielding position and head towards home plate.
Unique training regimen. He doesn't lift weights. He's got a javelin throwing program that he strengthens his arm with. Dodgers were totally open to him doing whatever he felt like he needed to do to get ready for his starts. Coming over from Japan, he brought his own guys, own trainer. Second season, dominated in Japan, 3 consecutive MVPs there, and then signed the largest contract ever for a pitcher. His first year was good, but he was injured for a lot of the year. This year, great. This postseason, something else. His 2-1 to Barger.
Outside.
Curve is a little bit outside.
He just got so many pitches to get back in the at-bat. Like 3-1 is not a count you want to live with in the postseason or as a pitcher, and he can navigate it. That's just because the hitter doesn't know what's coming. You can't sell out. You can't say fastball automatically. And because he has done a great job in not really backing up 3 pitchers in a row or rarely throwing, like I said, curveball back to back, you're wondering, when's the curveball coming? When's the splitter coming?
Payoff. Another fastball to strike him out. And yeah, the fastball looks like it's surprising Barger. The reason is he's only throwing it 20% of the time.
He just pitched backwards right there, and it was perfect timing. 3-1, fastball on the corner, down.
6 pitches, and he can hit a flea with any one of them. Like a video game set on easy, the way he controls. Fastball grounded up the middle. Mookie Betts makes an error. Second of the game in the Dodgers.
I don't think he would have thrown him out. As great as Mookie is,
and it is a hit.
Yeah, I don't think he could have thrown him out. Mookie's made every play so far. This one just catches his thumb, but now he's got to turn and throw and get a pretty fast runner out. We're used to seeing him make it all the time.
Well, not an error, but a play Betts tell you he would like to be able to make. And now fly to center field. Tommy Edmonds going back, and no worse for the wear. But the Guerreros and Bichettes aren't the only big league father-son combinations we got going here in Toronto. How about Dan Shulman, who's the longtime TV voice of the Blue Jays on the national TV call in this postseason run for the Jays. His 25-year-old son, Ben Shulman, is the radio voice of the Blue Jays. Special. Get to see each other every day here. They said they text during every game. What an amazing thing. 3-1 game. Dodgers in front here in Game 6, trying to force a decisive Game 7. Freddie Freeman takes strike 1 from Kevin Gausman. Freeman walked to load the bases for Betts, who delivered the hit of the night. 2-run single. Freeman on an 0-1. Golfs it into shallow center field for Jimenez, and the first out of the 6th as we go down to Tom Verducci.
Well, that key at bat by Mookie Betts was a result of seeing 3 straight high fastballs. Why not? That's how they've been beating him. Fastball up underneath it. Fastball up behind it, underneath it. And finally the 3rd straight fastball on top of it. Now they've been beating him with fastballs, just 1 for 10 on fastballs in the zone. A baseball is less than 3 inches from top to bottom, so the difference between hitting the middle of the baseball and the bottom, just fractions.
And you see how hard Betts was on himself after the Game 5 loss, the latest game where he struggled. He said, I've just been terrible. Grinding away, trying to figure it out. Very mechanical hitter. Just a touch off. Does that base hit unlock something bigger?
If your arm speed as a pitcher is off a little bit, it's going to affect your pitches, and you're not going to be as precise. If you drop or you're off just a little bit and your bat barrel getting through the zone, you're going to be underneath, and that's what he's been. The timing of it is the difference between those getting on top of the ball or staying underneath.
That is a foul ball, just barely. His base hit made it 3-0 Dodgers in the 3rd inning. First hit with a runner in scoring position since midway through Game 3, and this is back in LA at the Dome at Cosm. Shared reality experience we were showing the other day. Betts up the middle this time, but shot was positioned well. Chargers and throws to get him. No experience at second, no problem for Bo Bichette. Teoscar Hernandez has had no chance against Kevin Gausman in these 2 games.
No, he's seen every split has been perfect. He's like, can you just hang one? Maybe give me a chance. But every split's been starting down and getting below the zone. And he has not been able to stay off of that pitch.
0 for 5 strikeouts on 18 pitches. The minimum to do that is 15 pitches.
And then you take one knowing you're going to get a split, and you're thinking there's no way he's going to throw for a strike, and he does. Now watch him just inch below each one of those to try to get him to chase after he get 1 for a strike.
It's a slider. The count evens up. Good for another quick inning here, and then the bottom of the order coming up after that. See if John Schneider continues rolling with him, considers giving him another inning. Fastballs by him, 1 of each.
That was dirty right there. That was a man. Watch his swing. He's like, no way you're throwing me a fastball. Oh, I got to get, and it's too late.
Splitter, slider, fastball. Now what?
Splitter.
Doing his old teammate dirty. That slider, and it's 2-2.
Kevin Gausman's got to think, man, every game has been carbon copy. No runs, tight game, a couple mistakes, and he's been on the short end of the stick. He has not really gotten many runs in this postseason, or this World Series for sure.
Fires 2-2. Hernandez digs out a splitter, rolls it to short. Jimenez to first, and a 1-2-3-6. Your team, your players, baseball your way. Follow the World Series on the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. George Springer bounces the first pitch of the 6th inning to Mookie Betts, and 1 pitch, 1 out for Yamamoto.
Left field, number 38, David Lucas.
In his quest to get the Dodgers to Game 7, he would love to take down this entire game. And in this World Series, 14 1/3, 13 strikeouts, has not walked anybody.
That's unbelievable.
Look at a fan on the field. Security ready to deck him.
Slow curveball. Here comes something firm. backed it up for the first time. That would have been the hitter doing the same thing. I'd have taken it.
So now there is nothing you can count on. That was like the one little tell. But if you got a curveball, you knew you'd get something else after that. It's one thing to have 6 pitches and be unpredictable, but you pair that with the way he commands them.
Yeah.
And this is what you get. Absolute dominance on the biggest stage. 2-1. Man, oh man, 2-2.
Well, that's what pitching's supposed to be. You don't always have to miss bats. You just put them in the spot where you take the sting of the bat out, and you notice there's not a lot of slug against them and not a lot of runs against them. And this is a team that's done it better than anybody in recent memory. Collectively through the postseason, they have just always been an inning away from a 3-run potential inning. And against this guy, only 2 runs.
Lucas trying to coax the first walk out of him. Instead, a fly to center field. Routine for Tommy Edman, getting his first start of the postseason out there. Has not really been tested on that sore ankle. 2 out, and up comes Vlad Jr. 0 for 2 in this game, but it's been one of the great postseasons that we have ever seen. Over the last 30 years, his on-base plus slugging above 1,300. That is the best. He's 2 hits shy of the postseason record. Randy Arozarena in 2020, he had the extra games. There was the extra round in that 20 season. And 2 home runs shy of the postseason record, also held by Arozarena that year. But Yamamoto has saved his best form.
Yeah, he's hoping he doesn't get a shot at that record.
At least do it on somebody else's watch.
Yeah.
Yamamoto's saying. Struck him out last time. He has 6 strikeouts this entire month. 2 of them have come against Yamamoto. Kevin Gausman saying, man, I feel like I've pitched really well in this World Series, but I can't get out of Yamamoto's shadow. 5'10", but casting a large one. Hook to left field. On the run, Hernandez. Kiko Hernandez won't get there. Extra bases for Vlad Jr. 2-out double. What a month. What a player.
He's strong enough, even though he's going to one-hand this, he stays back on the curveball, and he can hit this. Look at that. One hand, but he stays back so that the barrel of the bat still has enough oomph to smoke this down the left field line, hook it away from Hernandez.
Vlad like his dad right there. Vlad said at the start of the postseason he wanted to win a World Series and then give the ring to his dad. When talking to people around the Blue Jays, that wasn't just something that he said was a good quote. That is a genuine, deep motivation of his to be able to say thanks to his father for helping him become the player that he is, the person that he is. Hall of Fame career for Dad. One thing he never did was win a World Series. So Vlad Jr. said, if I get a ring, that ring's yours, Pop. Well above 300 in his career. 9-time All-Star. Played in 1 World Series, but it was towards the end of his career in Texas. And they fell short. His boys led the Blue Jays to their first World Series appearance in 32 years. And his boys' best buddies coming up here with a chance to draw the Blue Jays closer. Oh, Bichette takes a curve for a strike. Best hitter in baseball with runners in scoring position this year. 381 and 2 for 2 in this World Series. On an 0-1, Bichette takes high.
His stance will change with 2 strikes a little bit. He likes to be aggressive early, and then with 2 strikes, he'll spread out and try to hunt the baseball a little bit more. But looking to do damage early before he gets 2 strikes.
Tying run at the plate, bottom of the 6th, 1-1, very high. Yamamoto's 2-1. Poked foul, and it's 2-2. Swings himself out of his helmet right there. Signed Vlad Jr. in 2015, drafted Bo Bichette in 2016, linked at the hip every step of the way, getting to the big leagues a month apart in 2019, and representing excitement, representing hope for the Blue Jays. Nothing but postseason failure prior to this year. 6 games, all losses. Now game 6, 1 win away from a title. 2-2 pitch. Full count. And the Dodger bullpen has started to work. The payoff pitch.
Well, at least the Blue Jays are making these last couple innings a pitch count nightmare.
Up above 90. Robleski warms. Varsho waits on deck. Farling's ready for the Blue Jays. After the 6 innings from Gausman. 3-2 on Bichette. Here comes Yamamoto. Ball 4. Tying run aboard, and the go-ahead run coming up. The first walk in 15 innings in this World Series.
Varsho's been pretty aggressive. Early count.
Splitter for a strike. Well, if you happen to just tune into this game 6, Dodgers with a 3 spot in the 3rd inning. 2-out rally against Kevin Gausman. They do not have a base runner outside of that 3rd, but that little burst was enough to have them in front. Blue Jays lead this best of 7, 3-2, looking for their first World Championship since 1993. 2 on, 2 out. 0-1 pitch. Robleski's ready. Yamamoto retired the first 2 in this inning. Double walk, and now 1-1. Varsho tops it along first, strike 2. If this goes the 7th game, that is tomorrow night. Coverage will start at 7 o'clock Eastern. First pitch coming at 8. Tie run on here in the 6th. The 1-2 pitch. He struck him out. Blue Jays bullpen takes over. Louis Varland downstairs with the first pitch to Max Muncy. After pitching in 74 games during the regular year, split between the Twins and the Jays, his 15th of the playoffs, his 89th appearance this year. Rubber arm Lou is in with a curve for a strike.
With that big breaking ball on the electric fastball.
Muncy muscles this ball to right field. Barger is there for the first out of the 7th.
There's 2 pitchers in 2 totally different scenarios right now. That one is in the game, but the 2 I'm going to talk about are Max Scherzer has to figure out if there's going to be a game 7, what he wants to do. He can't enjoy this game. And then Tyler Glasnow may or may not be starting, but he'll be factoring in the game. He has to think differently from the bullpen. So when you're in a game 6, you're begging to pitch a game 7 if you're the Dodgers. When you're on this side, it's not an enviable position because you want to win, but you can't get carried away in the game. You got to prepare as if you are going to pitch.
0-2 on Kike Hernandez. Yeah, Max Scherzer went into John Schneider's office today. He said, I'm in the worst position. Everybody else excited to try to celebrate tonight. I got to stay locked in. Just missed with a heater. And you mentioned Glasnow may not start tomorrow. People may be like, wait a minute. No, it's his game. Well, do they consider starting Shohei Ohtani? And I'll tell you why after this 1-2. I think the plan is that they would like to use Ohtani at some point if this gets to a game 7. If you use him in relief, when you take him out of the game, you lose his bat. Now look, if you use him in relief, it's as the closer in theory to end the game. But what if the game doesn't end? What if he blows the save and then you got to take him out? His bat's out of the game. I know that you want to use him as the closer, but the only way to guarantee that you get to keep his bat by rule is to have him be the starter.
Yep.
Look, if you know you're going to get, say, an inning, or if it's 2 innings or however many, might as well make that where you can protect his bat.
I agree. And the fact that he's willing to do it makes for an intriguing decision that if they get to make that decision tomorrow, I'm sure Dave Roberts will welcome it.
3-2 on Hernandez, who's making Varland work here with 1 away in the 7th. Dodgers by 2. Took one down that way. Blink through it, strike 3. Kenny, what do you think as the Dodgers look ahead to a potential game 7?
Joe, you nailed it. They have every incentive to use him as a starter and not as a reliever. Obviously, as you said, you use him as a reliever, you lose the DH. Also, first mound visit, if you are removing him as a pitcher, if you're using him as a reliever, you've got to move him to a position to keep him in the game. First mound visit, you've got to do that. Then, if you move him to a position, he would still hit in the same position in the batting order, and the new pitcher would hit in the spot of the replaced players. So again, there's a lot going on. If you use him as a reliever, use him as a starter, you do what you do in game 1 of the division series against the Phillies. Glasnow came in for Ohtani in relief.
2-0 on Tommy Edman, and that's the other thing. It wouldn't be putting Tyler Glasnow into a spot that he's never been in. And different than past years where the Dodgers may be guilty of overthinking it a little bit. You go back to the way they operated in 2021. This is not overthinking it. This is optimizing Ohtani and threading the needle through that specific wording of the rule, the 2-way rule, where you only get to keep him in if he's the starter when you take him out. 2-1. Strike 2. Dodgers across that bridge if they can get to it. Blue Jays no. Mad Max. 2-2. Shane Bieber, of course, available as well, and probably just about everybody else. Such as game 7. On a 3-2, Edman lifts a fly ball to center field. No big deal for Dalton Varsho. We got a ghost floating over the field here on Halloween. And speaking of scary, the Dodger bullpen takes over in the bottom of the 7th. Justin Robleski on for Kirk, Barger, and Clement. Not close with his first pitch. Yamamoto's done after 6 innings, 96 pitches. Robleski takes over in a 3-1 game.
Well, the Blue Jays did what they could. The last 2 innings really wore on Yamamoto, not to mention all that he has done in this series. And all he's done his last 3 games is pitch 1 earned run. 9 innings, and 6 innings. And when you think about the job he did, whew, man.
And back to that game 5 win that we showed against San Diego in the division series last year. His last 8 starts in the postseason, a 1.61 ERA. That fastball seemed to surprise Kirk right there, who rarely strikes out. Sneaks by him for the first out of the 7th. The Dodger bullpen, remarkable in game 3. They had 11 consecutive scoreless innings. But in the 3 losses in this World Series, they've given up 9 runs. You knew that it was the big problem for the team coming into the postseason. Starting pitching had been good enough to cover it up through the championship series. Does the bullpen have 9 outs in it tonight? There's a Baltimore chop along first. Barrett pick up. Rojas got him. Oh, Miguel Rojas, do or die play for out number 2 of the 7th.
That's the only way he could have got him. You watch it and look it in, and you don't care what grip you've got. That's the only chance he had on that high chopper.
That's sweet. Dave Roberts playing a gut feeling on this guy, saying even the way he takes the field brings a different kind of energy. They're looking for every edge they could get. Ball on Clement. Justin Robleski, who hadn't pitched in a month when he took the ball earlier in this series. Here's a shot to left center field. Hernandez will not get there. Extra bases for Ernie Clement. Second hit of the ball game. 2-out double. Again, the tying run coming up.
This was just a great piece of hitting. And there was nothing Kike could do about it.
Visit from Mark Pryor. Andres Jimenez, the left-handed batter's coming up. John Schneider's been very aggressive pinch hitting and subbing guys in this World Series. He's got 4 right-handed bats on his bench, but looks like he's going to let Jimenez hit.
Yeah, he's trusting him against this left-handed reliever. And interesting, you know, he trusts his players, see what his swinging of the bat been pretty good, but yeah, this would be the chance to pinch hit.
Sasaki's getting loose. He trusts George Springer to give it a go tonight. He trusts Andres Jimenez with 2 gone in the 7th, and he swings through a fastball. He's been one of the best hitters in all of baseball this October with runners in scoring position. Not much at all outside of that, but close to 500 in these situations. 0-2.
He's in for a battle right here with 2 strikes. He's got 2 ways to get him out. Fastball up or that breaking ball away. You just saw the breaking ball away that he fouled.
Life comes at you fast if you're Justin Robleski. Out of the picture until the World Series. Now the highest of leverage. Desperate times call for guys out of the nowhere, out of the middle of nowhere. Robleski fires another 0-2. Top of the order, George Springer after him. Would Sasaki come in for him? The 1-2 pitch. On the hands, cracked foul.
That's a great take. After seeing fastballs, a great take there by Jimenez.
From 0-2 to 2-2, here it comes. And oh man, we've seen him do this throughout the month. He had a key at bat where he fought off several 2-strike pitches and then singled in game 4. Glove first, shortstop. But a bat when the moment's called for this month. This time he's down on a fastball. A roar from Robleski. One more hitter here for Louis Varland. It's Miguel Rojas, and it's going to take him all of 1 pitch to do his job here in the 8th inning. Mason Fluharty's ready to go for Shohei Ohtani. Dodgers 3, Blue Jays 1. Here comes John Schneider. Fluharty's been their Ohtani killer back to August when he struck him out to get his lone save as a big leaguer. So the top of the order for the Dodgers here, nursing this 2-run lead, looking for some insurance. We got Vikings. Blue Jays fans is Vikings. And we got Mason Fluharty on for Shohei Ohtani. Missed up and in with his first one. This has been the guy for Ohtani, although Shohei doubled against him the last time he faced him. The rookie from Delaware delivers 1-0. Fouled off.
Tough on lefties because he throws across his body, and you can see the breaking ball that he can start right at him and catch the strike zone, although he wants to start it down the middle and catch the other batter's box.
If you're looking for a hidden turning point in this series, bottom of the 6th inning in Game 4, Jays had a 2-1 lead. Fluharty came on for Bieber with 2 on and 1 out, got out of it. The next half inning, Toronto scored 4 against the Dodger bullpen. The difference never starker than right there. As the Jays tied up the series, took the lead the next night. Fluharty's 1-2 to Ohtani is down and away in the count evens. Bullpen for the Jays had a 5.50 ERA in the playoffs coming into the World Series. 2.80 against the Dodgers. 2-2. Ohtani pops it up center field, carries well. On the run is Varsho, and that was a heck of a lot more than a pop-up. Mere mortals would have just popped it up, but Ohtani off balance off the end of the bat, golfs it to the wall for a double.
This is how strong he is, and this is what happens if he can stay on the ball. You see, even though his body was going towards first, his hands were back, and that's the same thing we talked about earlier when Guerrero did it from the right side. The ball jumps off his bat. There's no doubt about it. He has extreme exit velocity, but typically this postseason it's all been to the pull side until that rare game.
They put Smith on intentionally here. He hit that ball 100 miles per hour with that swing. First base runner for the Dodgers since the 3rd. These are the only base runners outside the 3rd. Freddie Freeman. And these feel like huge runs for the Dodgers with the lack of offense outside of that 3rd inning. Start to smell funny if you're a Dodger. With the bullpen trying to protect it. Too close for comfort for LA. It's been part of the problem. The offense hasn't been there, and so a bullpen that is not deep has had zero wiggle room. Freeman trying to get him a little bit more. On this 1-1. It's a towering fly ball to right field, but not particularly deep. Barger comes on. Makes the catch. Ohtani won't even bother with his cannon. 2 out. MLB Together is baseball's platform embodying the sport's commitment to philanthropic causes and mental wellness efforts by teams, players, and the league. To learn more, go to MLBtogether.com. Now another 2-out chance for Mookie Betts. Anthony Dominguez ready in that Blue Jays bullpen. I don't know if this visit from Kirk is just to buy a little extra time for him to get ready with the right-handed Betts coming up.
It is. It's the time he needed.
A couple more tosses for Sir Anthony. Ohtani's at second, Smith is at first, and Mookie Betts, who has the biggest hit of this ball game, will look for another. Mookie Betts walked up there to the plate with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning. 3 for 24 in this World Series. Delivered a huge 2-run single.
Yeah, he sure did. He got enough of it, got the barrel of the bat to the ball. And that is the difference right now. And that's all it takes when Yamamoto did what he did. And I think we're going to see Sasaki for definitely more than 1 inning.
Well, Sasaki has given him as many as 3 innings in a game in this postseason. Converted starter. Top of the order coming up for the Blue Jays. That makes this a big spot for Betts, looking for insurance. Dominguez spins a sweeper in for a strike.
You see the walks there. That's what is the only thing that will hurt him at times. He's got a live arm, but sometimes not in the strike zone enough.
Not close there. 4th appearance in this World Series for Dominguez. He's walked 3 over the first 3 and gave up that home run to Shohei Ohtani in Game 3 that tied it up. Ohtani at second. He doubled. Smith at first after the intentional walk. 1-1 to Betts. Strike 2. Springer, Lucas Guerrero coming up for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the 8th.
This is going to be a fastball, has to be away.
There was a slider away, and Betts has worked the count full. Teoscar Hernandez on deck. 2 on, 2 out here in the 8th. Runners to get a head start with a pitch. There they go. Here it comes. Mookie Betts takes ball 4 to load him up. Just missed upstairs.
First pitch will say everything here with Teoscar. Don't know if he can lay off the slider away unless he's taken the first pitch.
He just happened to have Kevin Gausman out of the game. 0 for 3 today. Fastballs blazed by him. But then he got to face Dominguez. He's faced him 3 times in his life and struck out all 3 times. He's saying, do you have anybody down there that I'm good against? Leading the team in this World Series, hitting .280. 0-1 pitch. Lays off. Second bases loaded chance for the Dodgers. It has been all or nothing tonight. The 1-1. Hernandez tied up, strike 2.
Now the command of his fastball is not especially, it's the electricity of his fastball.
Dominguez, most experienced postseason pitcher on this Jays roster. 29th postseason appearance. His 1-2. Strikes it out and gets out of the bases loaded jam. 23-year-old rookie closer Roki Sasaki for the top of the order in the 8th. Springer takes a splitter that doesn't get the call.
Yeah, that's a good splitter, and he's got a great one. And the question is going to be whether Springer takes a strike, knowing this is a tough situation for the young man. And what you want to see is whether or not he has the feel for the strike zone, being that this is not his sole role, even though he's taken it on. And so far, 2-0. Got to get on to get the tying run to the plate.
6 innings from Yamamoto. Scoreless 7 from Robleski. And now it's Sasaki delivering 2-0. And finding the zone. Dodgers will likely look to Sasaki for the last 6 outs of this game. 6 outs to a 7th game. Andy Pages into the game in right field, replaces Teoscar Hernandez. 2-1 pitch. Springer fouls it off, 2-2. George has knocked in the only run of this game for the Blue Jays. A surprise addition to the lineup after injuring his side in Game 3. Clearly been in pain on all his swings. Fighting through it, leading off the 8th. Chopping a ball down the line and sneaking it into right field. Pages hustles to the ball to hold him to a single. He says, I don't know, but it'll do. And the tying run comes up.
I mean, this is an emergency hack and a great one if the Blue Jays score in this inning. Just by Freddie Freeman. There's no way you can play him close to the line there in that situation.
Fights it off, knifes it down the line. Lucas.
Now his fastball can be 100, 101, but it can also be a little erratic. That split finger is the pitch he goes to a lot.
Question is, if he doesn't have it, where does Dave Roberts go? Ball 2. Nathan Lucas takes outside, 3 balls and a strike.
Sometimes he puts so much stock in that split finger he doesn't realize his fastball is good enough. They are 1 for 19 against his fastball this postseason.
2. Full count. Emmett Sheehan has started to warm. So there's the answer to the question I posed. It's not where he wants to go, it's where he has to go. The payoff to Lucas. In the air to center field for Tommy Edman. 1 gone in the 8th. And now to the plate is the tying run, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Yeah, Lucas obviously wanted to get a hit, but worst case scenario, just don't hit it on the ground. Guarantee that Guerrero has a chance for 1 big swing.
Strike 1. One. Nasty. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And that's the most drop you'll see on that pitch right there. That's a true split finger fastball.
Wow, there have been a couple at the knees that he hasn't gotten the call on. And he's got to throw another to big bad Vlad. Spoils it.
His grip is going to be deeper in his hand, and the rotation is going to be deeper of a tumbler, right? So there's the split, and it's Gausman doesn't even have it quite that wide.
Another 2-2. Guerrero pulls his hands in. Ball 3. Bichette's on deck. 3-1 game, bottom of the 8th. Here's a payoff pitch. Guerrero takes ball 4 and roars his way down to first. The tying run reaches. The go-ahead run comes up in the form of Bo Bichette. And if the Blue Jays are going to win this World Series tonight, they'll do it how they did in 1993 with Carter. They'll do it in their last at-bat. They were the hope. They were the spark. Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero Jr. brought into the organization a year apart. And that's not even to say anything of the manager that guided him up through the minor leagues. That, of course, was John Schneider. And he said he'd get excited about prospects. You think about what it could be. Rarely does it pan out. And for the first 6 years, it didn't. All-stars during the regular season. No shows in the postseason. It's all come together here. Perhaps their last ride together. Bichette, a free agent at the end of this season. And Vlad Jr., who's here for the long term, says, take a breath. Take a deep breath. Bichette remembers back to right after they drafted him, watching the Blue Jays in the championship series on TV and hearing this place rock and thinking, man, one day I can't wait for that to be me. Is he ready for his own moment? 1 ball, no strikes. Outfield with their backs to the wall. Tying run at first. Go ahead run at the plate. Bichette swings and misses at the fastball.
Like I said, he's got a great fastball, but he's really heavily using his split finger.
Pop fly. Betts ranges over there. Does he have room? He does to get Bichette for out number 2 of the 8th. It's up to Dalton Varsho. Lone run for the Blue Jays back in the 3rd. All the runs in this game coming in the 3rd. Varsho's 0 for 3. Chases the first one in the dirt. Runners stay put. Dodgers found a closer in their pocket. Roki Sasaki started this year as a starter. Injured for a lot of the season. Out of the picture, working his way back in the minors. Dodgers didn't really figure he'd be back, but they were desperate to see what they had. Found themselves a closer here for the postseason. Still, he's so young. He's so new to this role. That trust is fickle. The 1-1 to Varsho in the dirt for ball 2. Kirk is next.
Yeah, I still think he's going to profile as a starter, but right now he is on a hot seat, learning a role. Doing it pretty well without any experience.
25th pitch of the inning coming here. 2 on, 2 out, a 2-1. Grounder to second, the Rojas gloves. Over to first, that's the inning. Roki Sasaki tiptoes his way out of the 8th inning. Here's Max Muncy. Started in 9th against Chris Bassett, who's in there with strike 1. Bassett, the converted starter, has turned into a weapon in these playoffs.
He's been great, and the timing couldn't be better.
Hadn't pitched in a month before the championship series. 6 2/3. He's given up just 1 hit. Says just trying to have fun, live it in the moment. 36-year-old Muncy, Kike Hernandez, Tommy Edman coming up here. For the Jays in the bottom of the 9th, Kirk, Barger, and Clement.
Well, we talked about in the open, the Dodgers have not lit up the scoreboard, but what they did is the first time all series they had a 3 spot in an inning, and that is holding up at the moment. They're 91-5 when they have the lead after 8 innings.
Another 0-2 to Muncy is downstairs. 1 inning being held up because of the pitching. 6 innings from Yamamoto, 2 scoreless from the pen, Robleski and Sasaki. And the last 3 elimination games for the Dodgers, they've given up just 1 run back to that division series last year. Muncy's down swinging. His struggles have continued. 4 for his last 36. Here's the latest. Dodgers and Blue Jays 3-1 in Game 6. Dodgers 3 outs away from forcing Game 7. One on Hernandez. Has not been a Game 7 in the World Series since 2019. Same situation. Nationals went into Houston down 3-2, and Steven Strasburg played the role of Yoshinobu Yamamoto that night to get it to a Game 7 where Max Scherzer took the ball and helped the Nationals win it. He'll be on the other side of the equation if it gets to a Game 7. He'll be on the team trying to avoid losing 2 home games. Scary. Back-to-back Ks for Chris Bassett.
Arms and legs and funkiness coming at you from all the angles. He has that really slow breaking ball that we haven't seen yet. Tight slider, cutter, sinker, fastball. Right now he's pitching great.
Tommy Edman 1 for 3 in this game. He started the 3-run rally with a double. Pokes it down the left field line, fading, foul. If it stands, Game 7 tomorrow night. If it stands, chances are you get another shot to see Ohtani's 2-way magic. And Mad Max on the Game 7 stage. Strike 2. So many big innings for the Blue Jays in this postseason have started where the bottom of the 9th will. Bottom half of the order.
I think we're going to see the slow curveball right here.
He throws them more than anybody. More pitches 75 or below than any man in baseball this year. Chris Bassett blazed it. See if he goes there on 1-2. Nothing but heat. At short, Jimenez. Fasten those seatbelts to the bottom of the 9th. Sasaki heads back out. Dave Roberts holding his breath, hoping that his bullpen can get through this. Yamamoto hoping that his fellow countrymen can get through The bottom of the order here. Kirk, Barger, and Clement coming up. And what a series this has been. What a tight, intense Game 6 it's been.
It has. It's got everything you could possibly want for a team that's waited a long time and a team that's trying to defend for the first time in a long time. So
it is Kirk to start the ninth. Sasaki throws and a fastball in there for a strike. 25 pitches in his ninth inning, his 8th inning. He's thrown as many as 33 in a relief outing, and again, he is a lifetime starter. Tyler Glasnow has started to warm.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, I think we got our answer to who possibly is going to be starting tomorrow.
0-2 on Kirk. Does that tell you it's Ohtani then?
Sure does.
Figured that Glasnow would still be the bulk guy. 0-2 to Kirk. Hit him with the 0-2 pitch. Did they say that there was a swing? Asked down to first. First base umpire Will Little says no swing. Kirk's in some pain, but well worth it for him and the Blue Jays here. The tying run is coming to the plate.
Splitter that gets away and catches him right on that side of his hand.
On an 0-2 pitch.
Now John Snyder's going to have to pinch run for him.
It'll send Miles Straw out there for that duty. And yeah, it's the bottom of the order, and it's the 7-hitter, but this ain't any old 7-hitter coming to the plate. This is Bam Bam Barger with a chance to tie this game. Justin Dean in center field.
Yamamoto 3-1 surprised him with 2 fastballs down that he took. He won't be taking many pitches in this at bat.
3 homers this postseason for Barger. First pitch. Fouls off a fastball. This is the 46th game of these playoffs. There has not been a 9th inning comeback. Barger could tie it with 1 swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball popped up down the left field line. Back goes Muncy. On comes Hernandez. Just into the nook right there. Now the dimensions of the ballpark play a role. It's 1-2. Blue Jays looking for their first championship since '93. And you know, every soul in here starting to stir up memories of Game 6. And Joe Carter. 1-2 to Barger. Outside even the count. Sasaki's 2-2. Line to deep center field. Dean on the run. Justin Dean won't get there. It wedges in the bottom of the wall, and it's a dead ball. It's a dead ball. The umpire's hands are up, and the runners will head to second and third. It'll be second and third, nobody out.
Fastball up, and he smokes it. A little unfortunate for the Blue Jays that that ball wedged right there.
And heads up play by Justin Dean to throw his hands up, because as soon as he reaches in there to play it, they lose the right for that to be a dead ball. But because he throws his hands up, doesn't play the ball, the umpires throw the hands up and immediately kill it. So second and third and nobody out. The tying run is in scoring position. The winning run, the World Series winning run, is coming to the plate.
After review, it was confirmed it was a launch ball. By rule, runners get straight.
Yeah, and they did review this, and very quickly, our crew chief Mark Wegner says it's confirmed that that was a dead ball. Wedged there, the bottom of the fence. 32 years after Joe Carter ended the World Series with a go-ahead home run, with a walk-off home run, one of the 2 World Series ending walk-off home runs, the Blue Jays have a shot to repeat history. Dave Roberts is going to the guy that everybody figured would feature into Game 7 as the starter. Tyler Glasnow trying to get it there.
The infield's going to be playing back, so they're going to give up the 1. And then I would assume make a decision if the runner goes over to third.
Ernie Clement, tying run at second, winning run at the plate, and a pop-up right side, Freddie Freeman for the first out.
Wow. Fastball up and in on a first pitch fastball that Clement loves to hit off of. Just rode in enough.
Andres Jimenez, the 9-hitter. First pitch. George Springer is on deck. The Dodgers 2 outs from Game 7. The Blue Jays 1 swing from a World Championship. Jimenez floats one left field. Hernandez makes the catch. Back to second. Game 7 tomorrow night. It's a game-ending double play. Kike Hernandez to Miguel Rojas.
Well, this ball hangs up enough, and you can see right away that Kike was going right to second.
Blue Jays are taking a look, but as the replays show, Hernandez to Rojas, who picks it, and baseball moves to November. Unreal. What a game, what a series, what a season of baseball.
Review, the call on the field is out.
The Dodgers have forced Game 7 by the narrowest of margins. The Blue Jays had second and third and nobody out. Tomorrow's supposed starting pitcher, Tyler Glasnow, comes on. And just like that, he's out of it.
Wow. That's a wow. You know, with Springer on deck. And Glasnow only had to throw 3 pitches to get out of that jam.
Well, you saw Springer lingering there. He was due up 5th in the inning, and if you're the Dodgers, you got to be thinking there's no way we let George Springer come to the plate in this game with a chance to win it. There was no way he wasn't gonna, until there was. Baseball gonna baseball. Down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Dave, that was a thrilling finish. We've got a Game 7. What went into your decision to use Glasnow in relief tonight, and what does that mean for your Game 7 pitcher tomorrow?
You know what I told you before the game, Kenny, man, this is do or die. You got to leave it all out there and pick up the pieces. So, you know, I just felt right there. You know, Roki wasn't as sharp, and I felt, you know, right there, Glass, a guy that has swing and miss stuff. and I just wanted to bet on him. He's been chomping at the bit to make an impact, and we'll talk to the guys tonight, see how they feel tomorrow. But from Yamamoto to what Robo did tonight, and we got hits when we needed to. Mookie came up big, so man, we live for Game 7. So here we go.
How inclined are you to start Ohtani? And if you do, how much can you get out of him on 3 days rest?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think right now there's no wrong answer. He's certainly going to be a part of the pitching plan. And with Shohei, it could be 2 innings, but it could be 4 innings. So I'm not sure where we're going to slot him. We're going to have to talk to him first and where he feels most comfortable.
Finally, you changed your lineup tonight. Mookie had a big game. Rojas at second base was brilliant defensively. Same combination tomorrow?
Same combination. I think Rojas, and we talked about that earlier, he just infuses some energy, some toughness, and what he did defensively was huge. Kike made that great play right there, and obviously Mookie let the game come to him a little bit, and he had a big hit for us.
Dave, thanks a lot. Good luck tomorrow. Joe, back to you.
2 best words in baseball, Game 7. Studio guys getting ready for the postgame show, brought to you by Strauss, and the way that Game 6 ends. A double play, Kike Hernandez to Miguel Rojas, and the Jays go from second and third, nobody out, to having to play Game 7 tomorrow night.